Video, and we are here. The last video of the day, we are going to be talking about Ozark, the season opener for season 2. Season 1 was a great one, ended pretty dope. Pretty good ending. But now we are trying to build normal here to start the second season. They want to be a little cleaner of a business, I guess, not work with all these people. We're going to build normal from here. Marty Byrde always thinks he can build normal, even if he's been trying to do so on quicksand since the beginning of Ozark. Now we're back here for the second season. The season premiere makes it clear how difficult it's going to be for the Byrdes to put the pieces back together after nearly separating at the end of last season. They nearly parted their ways. Marty was just about to be like, Wendy, just go your own way, live your own life with the kids, be safe. This is kind of my responsibility. I work in this industry. You really don't, so yeah, you can stop trying to help me and just get the hell out of here so you can be safe, kind of a farewell, goodbye, good riddance. But no, they're back together here. It doesn't help that the Mexican cartel is now looking for one of their VIPs, Del, who was shot in the head by Darlene Snell in the season finale. That shit was fucking brutal. They literally showed him after getting shot, which is wild. Marty is still pushing forward with his craziest plan yet, uniting the Mexicans and the Missouri drug scene in a casino scheme that will launder their money and make everyone happy. This is just wild. The cartel working with people from fucking Missouri, that sounds like fucking trouble right there, It would just take about 6 months to kind of get everything settled and get the money laundering going and get the business moving. The Byrdes will get their 3% of the profits, the operation will be self-sustaining, and then they can move wherever they want in the world, living happily ever after. Once they launder enough money, once they complete the deal with the Snells and the cartel, then they can just go their own way, never speak of this again. Yeah, just live life happily. What do they say about the best laid plans? The Byrdes encounter 2 initial roadblocks to their 6-month plan. First, it takes a lot of political capital to open a casino, especially to do so as quickly as they need to. They need to get going here. They need to get this money washed up so no one suspects anything. Enter Wendy Byrde, enlivened by the potential to put her campaigning and lobbying skills to work, because she actually worked in politics before all this shit went down. Marty learns about someone who is basically a kingmaker in the Ozarks in a mysterious place known only as the Lake House. This is some sort of infamous area. Yeah. No, it's not a reference to the Keanu Sandy romantic classic, but a place where people basically go to kiss the ring of one of the state's most powerful lobbyists. This is the guy that's really going to get your shit, get your proposals through legislation and allow you to get stuff done for your business. So a casino, Missouri's kind of limiting how many casinos are there, in their certain counties and their certain regions, and they've reached that. And now they have to get this guy, this big dog, to kind of get the government to open another spot for a casino, close another one, that sort of thing. You see, Missouri has no limit on political donations, the only state where that's true, which has made it predictably corrupt. Wendy Byrde thinks she knows how to use that corruption to her family's advantage, but I don't know. It's going to get pretty fucking difficult this season. There's going to be a lot of hardships, and that's kind of what we have to look forward to for the show. But will she live long enough to do so? The second season of Ozark wastes no time introducing viewers to someone who will clearly be a major player in this season, Helen Pierce, played by the excellent British actress Janet McTeer, a 2-time Oscar nominee, not typically seen in what appears to be a deadly dangerous role. So they got some pretty good casting. On paper, this season looks pretty damn good. And yeah, this is the big bad. Obviously, last season it was, a mix of the Snells, it was a mix of the Langmores, it was a mix of Del Rio and his cartel. But now, it's really, really they have to worry about, Helen Pierce here and the rest of the cartel. Not even really, the Langmores and the Snells aren't, it doesn't seem like they're going to play as big of a role. I might be wrong. I might come back to this video and be like, wow, was I wrong? But, yeah. Pierce is not having any of the Byrde or Snell's bullshit. You see, they tried to throw the Mexicans off the scent of Del by getting the loyal but doomed Ash, seriously, he should have been wearing a red shirt all episode, to drive to Chicago with Del's credit cards and phone. He's just getting thrown to the fire. Maybe the Mexicans will think Del got lost in the Windy City. Of course they didn't. These are smart people. They have this operation. They have their plans thought out very thoroughly. And yeah, come on. Pierce allows the Birds and Snells to sell their story about being just as confused about Dell's disappearance as anyone, but she immediately heads to Chicago to verify the story. Let's just say, the Snells and their poor servant Ash aren't too smart when it comes to modern security footage. Yeah. Every credit union has to have security. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Cameras all over the place. After shooting the poor guy making minimal wage at a gas station, Pierce gets the footage that proves it wasn't Dell who used his credit card there, and he's in fact most likely dead. Presumably so. They're not going to find his body or anything, but they're like, yeah, he's dead. He's no longer, in connections with us. Something happened. She gives the Birds an hour to make it right, which he takes to the Snells, suggesting they offer $5 million for Dell's life. They gotta pay up. They gotta repay. This was a big VIP. He's been helping the cartel for some years now, and him dying is a really big hit for them. Obviously, they can kind of easily replace him, but he was still really good at what he did. Jacob seems to consider it and understands the gravity of the situation more than the emotional Darlene. Yeah, Darlene just lets her emotions get in the way. I'm not really sure how smart her character actually is, although intimidating at times, it's kind of questionable. Although he then tells the Birds to go just before killing Ash. Right as they're standing in the house, he kills Ash. The idea is that he's going to handle this the old-fashioned way, one of his most important servants for one of theirs. Does anyone think this would work 100%? A, is Ash really equal to the clearly more powerful Dell? B, even if it is equal, the Mexicans never agreed to this trade to start, and so they would likely demand more compensation just for the damn inconvenience of killing a fucking VIP. You're not, oh, wow, you killed your servant for us, oh man, like, what? Perhaps they will, but I'm a little worried this is the end of the Dell arc, which doesn't completely fly with me. I feel like Dell's story kind of got yanked. I don't know. While all the Bird drama is going down, there's an arguably more interesting subplot unfolding in the life of the show stealing Ruth Langmore. Julia Garner gave the best performance in season 1, in my opinion. I think she did great. Ruth has to deal with the release of her father Cade back into society. Like, hopefully he doesn't fucking tear shit down and disrupt anything. How will she continue to thrive with her violent, sexist dad over her shoulder? First, we see her testify at his parole, hearing about how much he's done for her, when we know full well that Ruth did better because her father was in prison, because he wasn't stealing the spotlight, taking all of her business opportunities, yada, yada, yada. And then she, disturbingly, pays one of the workers at Lickety Splits to sleep with her dad before they even get back from the clink. Ugh, it's fucking nasty. More on that development, later on, I suppose. Oh my god, that's just crazy. As Ruth probably suspected, Cade knows that his daughter killed his brothers. She admits to it, revealing that her uncles were spying for someone, and she did it to protect everyone. Cade having this information to hold over Ruth is unlikely to end well. He's already playing mind games later that night with Ruth's cousins. How do you think your father died, And that scene is also important to know how differently Cade treats the Langmore men than he does Ruth. He's going to be a problem. There are already early signs that this guy is going to be a problem for Ruth. She's going to have to ease him down or fucking eliminate him. Like, what is she to do? This man knows exactly what she did. Another problem, we're almost already at the end of the video. Another problem is the money that Rachel absconded with at the end of the last season, which Marty discovers when he sees the broken wall of the resort in which he had stashed the cash. It's a lot of money. It seems like, when you were watching that scene, she took a pretty considerable chunk out of there. Don't miss that Charlotte Bird also tells her brother that she grabbed $10,000 when they were hiding it. They split it 5K. Like, damn, man, you're playing with your father's money. Or the cartel's money that your father is supposed to be cleaning and supposed to be serving them, and if he doesn't give them damn near to the dollar exact amount, they're going to probably fucking kill his ass. A lot of characters just aren't very wise here. They don't really understand how important this is and how vital some of this cash is. And Rachel just kind of fucks him over and leaves. I understand that. But the fact that the children are still living with their dad and they're doing shit like this, yeah. We hear that Marty and Wendy are going to have count what's left to determine what Rachel took, but that book isn't going to balance without that missing $10,000. We all know how someone like Marty Bird hates an unbalanced account. He's a super meticulous guy. He wants things done the right way. Man. Jason Bateman also directing this season 2. That's something, he's 4 times last year. He got nominated for an Emmy for acting and directing. He's been great. He's become a very solid director, including a couple feature films. Helming something like Ozark on the big screen is awesome, something dark and violent. He knows how to build tension. That'll be an interesting thing to take note of. I mean, the relationship between Kate and Ruth is obviously important. There are definitely hints that Kate has at least physically abused his daughter, and very possibly sexually too. Maybe that's why she's so severe. When he comes in at night, Ruth stares at the ceiling like she's terrified of what's about to happen, something that has happened before when Dad was drunk. And perhaps that's why she paid a worker to sleep with him so quickly. So Dad might be less likely to abuse her, maybe get his manliness out. Yeah, that's a layer of horror to his request that she get him a blonde next time. She's blonde too. Like, what the hell? There's a lot to talk about, but I think I'm going to end it there.